Do you agree that Joe Biden won Georgia? Do you agree with your colleague, Mr. Scott?
As reported, the state of Georgia cast its electoral ballots for Joe Biden.
What does that mean?
Well, we, in the House of Representatives, we witnessed the counting of the Electoral College, and the state of Georgia cast their ballots in support of Joe Biden.
Correct, and that is because he won the state of Georgia. So
It was certified in the state of Georgia. That's an accurate statement. It was certified in the state of Georgia.
And I presume you would say the same about the state of Minnesota in 2024 with respect to Kamala Harris's victory there?
That the Electoral College was counted in favor of
Kamala Harris won the election in the state of Minnesota.
As reported from the state of Minnesota.
What is this? Why can't you just say yes? I don't understand.
I don't understand your confusion as to how the Electoral College was counted.
I'm not asking about the Electoral College. I'm asking about the popular vote in these respective states.
That's how we elect the President of the United States.
Madam Chair.
I'm really confused about why you keep pursuing this when you're getting an answer from these people telling you
I am not getting an answer.
The elections were certified.
Madam
that
Chair,
should be adequate.
Number one, Madam Chair, the time belongs to the Speaker.
I understand.
And I'm happy to ask you the question. I'm happy to ask any Republican on this panel. I think the only person on the panel that will answer the question honestly is Mr. Scott from Georgia. If I ask anyone on the panel whether or not a particular candidate won the popular vote in a particular state, I get the same gobbledygook answers of various sequiturs as reported, as the Electoral College certified in the House of Representatives. I'm not asking that. I'm asking who won the state of Wisconsin, who won the state of Minnesota. If I go out and ask a citizen on the street who won Minnesota in 2024, every single one of them will say Kamala Harris won. The only people who equivocate are Republican politicians in this committee. That's a fact. We all know it. But in any event, I will agree with the chairwoman that it's not worth belaboring it, because I don't think I'm going to get a different answer out of Mr. Stile. Now, I'd go through 50 states, and you'll answer it the same way. Who won the state of Arkansas in 2024, Mr. Morelli?
State of Arkansas?
Yes.
In 2024?
Yes.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump won the state of Arkansas. Not as reported and as certified by Electoral College. He won the state of Arkansas. Mr. Stile, do you disagree? Who won the state of Arkansas in 2024?
I mean, I think we've made it pretty clear that we count. I think there was confusion maybe in your question.
Like 20-word
answers. The
answers.
Electoral College determines who's the President of the United States. The Electoral College has been reported in the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
I don't think it's terribly confusing.
Okay, Mr. Stile. I mean, again, people can...
Rich, get really, really rich, it has an impact on you. The rich getting richer and richer and richer, and ordinary people owning fewer and fewer assets. That affects you because the rich are competing for the same resources that you need. There's only a certain amount of things in the economy, only a certain amount of housing, only a certain amount of education, universities, doctors, dentists, physical space in the cities. As the rich get aggressively richer, they start to consume more stuff, and that means less stuff for you. And the way that you see that is generally the prices of things that you buy going up. The rich are also competing with you for essentially the ownership of your politics, your politicians, and your media. If your politicians are getting paid 100 grand a year, 150 grand a year by the people, and they can also get paid 10 million pound a year to work for the rich, who do you think the politicians really work for? And when the rich are super, 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 super rich, and your average taxpayer is increasingly poor, it gets harder and harder and harder for you to compete with them. You have basically found yourself in the same situation that Latin Americans and Africans have been in for a long period of time. You cannot compete anymore for ownership of your politicians with the super rich. And I think this is a classic example of why inequality matters for you.
enjoyable to make music now. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of practice. You need to get really good at an instrument or really good at a piece of production software. I think the majority of people don't enjoy the majority of the time they spend making music.
You guys know I usually play on the videos, but I got run over by a car yesterday, so I don't feel like playing. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. For those of you not familiar with Suno, it's like the ChatGPT for music. You use a prompt, I want this, and it delivers music to you, just like that. But I really didn't think it was going nowhere, because with the rest of the AIs, there is like a company or someone making decisions. But in this case, the people that are making that decision are musicians, producers, and people that work in the industry. And that choice is killing the industry that they work in. So I thought it's bullshit. No one's going to use that. I was wrong. But then I thought, even if people use that, no one is going to promote that. Boy, I was wrong. My colleagues all over Instagram have been promoting this app for insane amounts of money, one could assume. And now they got a new car by fucking the millions of followers that allow them to live the life that they're living. It's like a huge paradox in here, isn't it? So I wanted to take a second here to talk to the people that are beginning on this beautiful journey that's music. I swear to God, when I started making music, I started doing it because I loved it more than anything else. So I thought, I'm going to drop out of school and I'm going to play drums 24/7. Not because I wanted money, not because I wanted fame, followers, sponsors, or whatever, but because I wanted to play drums, because that made me feel alive. And that's the secret to success, actually. Not focusing on a goal, but rather focusing your attention into the journey and enjoying each and every single step. No matter where it leads you, you may end up playing arenas, selling out tours, or you may not. But if you don't care about the outcome, it's absolutely impossible not to succeed. And yes, it's hard, but there is victory in it. When these people say, we did this for you because you don't enjoy this, they're lying. They're lying to you. They're lying to me. That's what they do. Tech giants, they just lie. What they actually did was stealing all the music that our race has ever produced, and they fed it to a machine that now can generate tracks based on my job and your job and the job of every musician that has ever lived. And they didn't ask for permission, and they did it for profit, not for you. From now on, I'm not going to wear the ram and ass shirt no more, because it doesn't stand for nothing. And to all the musicians out there, f the people who promote this shit. And if you're going to work with a musician that uses that, don't work with him. And if you're going to work with a producer that uses that, don't work with him. You wouldn't work with a racist. Don't work with somebody that's destroying the job that allows you to feed your children. And for all the people that are promoting it, just don't follow them no more and make them go back to the place where they actually can suffer from the problems that they are creating. Sun coin shirts available on my bio, worldwide. It's a coin, by the way, it's not an O. If it was an O, ooh, big lawsuit. Transformative copyright, I think it's called. Loopholes. Who doesn't love holes? Cheers.
Hello and welcome to Bob of the old ways here, and then also of welcome to Tony. Tony of Alpha Eagle infamy.
This is alpha masculinity, ladies and germs and NBs. Drink it in.
Oh my God. I'm the
now,
only.
I want to say.
Yeah.
I want to say, I don't find him to be all that repulsive looking. He's just like a normal looking dude in this picture.
Yeah.
But his personality online is so repulsive and so cringe that it knocks him down into the ugly category.
That's true. You want to come say hi, Oliver? We're not on camera, so it's just speaking to the mic.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Oliver.
Hey, everybody. Oliver's here.
Yeah, what's up?
Don't worry about this weird looking fella on the screen right there. Don't worry about him. He's nobody important.
Looks ugly.
Yeah, what are you up to, man?
Gonna go take a shower.
Oh, it's that day of the week, huh?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Cool. You gonna wash your face?
Yeah.
Cool. You gonna wash your butt?
No.
Yeah, of course not. We don't do that around here. Not in this house. Yeah, I think Mom is maybe. Is she home? No, she's maybe on her way. I see her moving on the map here, but
Oh, okay.
I think she might be on her way home. So.
Oh, love you, Dad. I'm
Love
gonna
you
take
too.
my
Have
shower.
a good shower. Yeah, stinky boy. All right.
Did you just give him permission not to wash his butt?
No, he knows that I'm joking. He likes being clean. The thing about his face is he just kind of got his first couple of pimples in the last couple of weeks. So we actually got him his own dedicated face wash so he can start washing his own face, like with face scrub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I literally taught him last shower how to lather up and wash his face and keep it out of his eyes and stuff like that. Yeah, and so I was just checking if he was going to do that, and then I followed that up with a joke about, "Are you going to wash your butt?" And he's like, "No." So that's just a joke. And he knows it.
Welcome to Hygiene with Dane AF and the modern audience.
Yep, that's what we do around here, I guess. No. This is crazy. I want to look at something real quick. Back to this real quick. So, Gordliness. So the other day I noticed I'd seen a short that Birdman had that was like, oh no, he's talking to Alpha Eagle. That's not good, because all Alpha Eagle wants is people to just acknowledge him and to say something to him, because like then he will never stop trying to get your attention. Asterisk. But basically I was like, well, let's see what this is about, and then I watched the video, and it's really, really stupid. It's as in like Alpha Eagle is trying to make the claim that, first of all, he's defending a flat earther in the video. That Birdman had debunked in a video recently, and Alpha Eagle's taking that guy's side. And he says that, and there's a clip of the other guy in his video saying that water needs a container to exist.
No.
Yeah, and that's Birdman says, okay, well, what about clouds? What about this? And he shows like a picture of a cloud that's like cool looking. I don't forget what kind of cloud it is, but it's like, you know how clouds work. People understand what a cloud is, right? I think not Alpha Eagle. No, he was like, that's not water. And it's like, yeah, it's water vapor, you dipshit. Anyway, so I commented on that short saying, hey, Birdman, Beta Birdie, we've had some encounters with him, quite a few actually, over the last couple of years, and basically just kind of letting him know that if he continues to kind of feed the troll, that this troll will hang on like a goddamn dingleberry, and he won't let go. And I also, passed on the information that, because I know that Alpha Eagle loves to attack people's appearances, I said, just so you know, we found out that he's a middle-aged, pretty obese guy that, goes by the name Tony Beers is his real name. And just figured I'd pass that along. And then I see this yesterday, and I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? So apparently, because I'd never seen this picture. I'd seen like some video, like images of him in his videos on his old channel or something that like you couldn't really make much detail out, kind of thing. And then like one other social media post that he posted in the Geeks and Gamers Facebook group that he's in. But this was like, oh God. So you can tell Birdman just took that information. It was like, oh, okay. I'm gonna arm myself up on this Alpha Eagle character. And
Birdman's internet kung fu is incredible.
He's yeah. I mean, there's some people that might be put off by it. And in fact, there's some people in the comments. Most of them were just roasting along with Birdman, but yeah, there's some people get uncomfortable at that kind of thing. I don't get it. Like, oh, I know these people are terrible and they want to see, a large chunk of the population die and suffer horribly before they die. But I think it's just kind of rude. I don't get that shit. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't want to engage in it, don't engage in it. You don't have to appreciate it. You don't have to like it. But just like, nobody cares that you're upset about it. You're offended by it. You know what I mean? It doesn't make you look like the superior person or something by doing that.
I'm normally like not into making fun of people's appearances, because people can't help the way they look outside of they can have proper hygiene and all that, but their facial structure was not their choice. However, if they are the type of person that makes fun of other people's appearance, then they're fair game.
Yep, that's what I think. That is what I think. And I also be sure to tell Birdman that Alpha Eagle, the first encounter I had with him, he ended up telling me that basically I'm reductive about it. The joking way that I say it is that he believes that conservatives have dogs and liberals have cats. Because when I first encountered Alpha Eagle, I said something about my cat, and he's like, "Oh, of course you'd have a cat, liberal," or something like that. And it's like, what? Do people really think that way? That's fucking.
I've encountered that before, and I don't get it either.
Yes,
because I've known plenty of conservatives who have cats.
It's I think it's something to do with like what I imagine it is this kind of dumb mechanism that makes them hyper gender partisan kind of thing, you know, and they see dogs as male and cats as female. You know what I mean? That's what I think. It is. And so therefore, because it's female, it can't be. It has to be a liberal. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how their fucking brains. Some people, I think
they're trying to tie into the idea of the cat lady.
Yeah,
that's what the unmarried cat lady who like is subverting her maternal instincts by having cat kids or something.
I've always thought it was just like they don't like that cats don't need your approval. You know
Maybe
I mean?
That could be it too. Yes, cats require more consent than dogs.
Dogs are willing to play the hierarchy game. You know what I mean? And conservatives need their hierarchy. They love that shit. Cats are just like, I don't fucking care about you unless I happen to. And in that case, you better care about me or I might swat you.
Yeah. Cats require a lot more respect for boundaries and consent than dogs do, generally speaking. Yeah.
Yeah, he's never.
At least that's the stereotype.
They're never going to let him on there. But we do have somebody tonight that I was very surprised. I sat down to watch the video by somebody I've watched his videos for years. If you recognize the art in the thumbnail, then you already know. But yeah, I sat and watched this video and I was like, holy shit, he's doing this. He's like going right at Nerdrotic and he's, you know, layering it in lots of irony as he tends to. But it's internet comment etiquette. Eric, Big Money Salvia himself. Who I used to say that I took a little bit of inspiration from with my earlier content and some of the comedy that I would use, kind of stuff. So him and Creationist Cat / Hey It's Vadim, those were two guys that I felt like my comedy stylings and my video essays were a little bit aping off of. But yeah, other than that, before we get to that, so did you see this chick this reporter that she's some journalist apparently that during the Mitch McConnell thing when it was first kind of going on and they were like, what's going on? And, you know, she was like standing outside of the hospital or outside his house and she kept giving reports on what's going on. And she was kind of the tip of the spear for a few days there, it seemed like. Did you see her?
No, I don't think so.
It was bizarre because it's like, wow, she's doing a pretty good job. I've never heard of her, I don't think. I don't know. I don't even know who she works for. And then in one video, she was like, I'm independent. I'm doing this because I just want to bring the news to the people. Well, the fine folks over at the Bulwark, fine folks, asterisk, because at least that one lady, Longwell or whatever, she sucks. But they figured out who she was in the past, and this was kind of wacky.
Hey, Townsend. She has been doing stand-ups outside of the hospital that Mitch McConnell is allegedly at.
Who is she doing those for?
The public, the American people.
Just putting it out there? There's not like a station paying or anything like that?
Sam, that's a good question. On her LinkedIn, she says independent journalist, but I had somebody flag for me something that was... I don't even think I can put words to it. So they recognize Desiree Townsend from a past life.
Desiree Jennings is the pretty ambassador for the Washington Redskins cheerleading squad who claims she developed a rare neurological disorder called dystonia after receiving a seasonal flu shot. We found her walking normally, playing with her dogs, going shopping, even getting behind the wheel of a car and driving. Hard to believe the woman we've been discreetly observing over the last few weeks is the same woman we met during the height of the flu shot scare.
Let this just be a warning to people, because I don't know about you guys.
So I don't know if you saw her whenever I don't even know how long ago that was, but I remember seeing that woman in news clips.
I never saw that. I remember the flu shot scare, but I never saw that particular bit.
It struck me then as like, this is clearly bullshit. Like, this is not, you know what I mean? This is not, but I mean, I don't think I said that out loud because I was afraid that, like, what if I'm wrong? You know, I don't want to be wrong.
A lot of people did similar bullshit during the COVID thing too.
But yeah, so she's, for whatever reason, has found a new life grift. I'm not sure. Because she seemed to be giving relatively accurate information, at least as far as we could tell. Now we still don't really know what accurate information is because, we're probably not even getting it from Mitch McConnell's, people itself. But yeah, it's just kind of wild. Once a grifter, always a grifter, I suppose. Or maybe she got better. Maybe she really had a problem. And
that's what I was going to say. There's, what's her name? Elon's ex-wife who's turned over a new leaf.
That's true.
Ashley St. Clair, is that her name?
Well, I'm just talking about maybe she really had dystonia from the flu shot and then she got better.
Maybe. I doubt that.
Yep.
But I have many people in my life.
I agree. Don't get the flu shot.
Nah, get the flu shot. Fans of the Bulwark, also friends in my life, that send me fucking reels. And it's like, hey, have you seen this? It'll just be somebody like Desiree talking into the camera, acting like day 32, acting like they know what they're talking about. They're like, have you watched this? And I'm always like, no, I haven't watched this. And it's like, in this day, the internet has flattened everything. People don't know where to get real news, like Will Summers' false flag newsletter anymore,
That was a Bulwark promo there at the end. I didn't mean to do that. All right. So let's check out this video by internet comment Eric, advocate Eric. You watch his stuff or seen?
On occasion, I watch his stuff. His humor is not quite my speed. I get the jokes, and some of them are funny, but he never made me laugh out loud. But maybe this one will change my mind.
Sometimes he has, and sometimes even when I don't think it's very funny, I kind of get the point.
Yeah.
I'm willing to see that some of the jokes he does are more like about making a point than they are about being funny. And then sometimes, like it happens in this one, if you don't know any better, I could see you not knowing what he really thinks. You know what I mean? Like if this is your first video by him, like this one, I can imagine people being like, wait, does he really think this? Because he's being very, very ironic at some points, and then coming out of the irony in a ironic way from the perspective of pretending that he's actually being the thing that he's being when he's not being ironic. And so it's kind of layered, and yeah. See if I can get this damn thing to play. It's crazy. It just won't pop up in my window here. That's weird. All right. We'll do it live.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. I will call it up too. Maybe I can, if you can't, maybe I'll be able to share this.
Yeah,
screen.
I can just share the screen and play it on my dang thing here.
Is this the one that's called Woke Ass Odyssey?
Yeah, the Woke Ass Odyssey. There's a certain type of I feel like effectiveness that you can do against these grifters when you come at it from a perspective of somebody who doesn't steep themselves in it the way that a lot of us have. If that makes any sense. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's not effective at all, but we'll see.
You mean from the perspective of someone who doesn't know all of the lore about them and is just encountering it as a normie?
I would imagine he knows more than he's letting on in this video, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he's probably a pretty smart, knowledgeable guy, and part of his whole thing
But
is...
that's the character he's projecting.
Yeah.
Is that he's like, okay.
Here we go.
Welcome to Internet Comment Etiquette. As you know, this show is all about calling out the woke agenda that's ruining our entertainment industry. That's right, Hollywood. I'm coming for you. You're not going to make a dime off of me. What the? What was, where did I just go? Anyway, today we got another woke-ass movie coming out, this time from Christopher Nolan. Or should I say Christopher No Men? Because no men are going to want to watch this woke garbage. The Odyssey official countdown trailer. All right, let's get the woke counter up on screen. Sick, and play.
This is actually the first time, when I watched this earlier, was the first time I'd seen a trailer of this at all.
Oh, hang on. Enhanced? Okay, that's Zendaya, so that's woke. She just is now. Deal with it and play. All right, Matt Damon, he's cool.
Death.
Anne Hathaway, no problem there.
Death because a kingdom waiting for a king.
Oh, hold up. Enhance. Yeah. Just as I thought. That guy's not Greek, so that's woke. And play.
Oh, blood.
Oh. Enhance. Is that fucking Lupita Nyong'o? Because I'm her #1 fan. I mean, I love her work, but I guess she is playing Helen of Troy, which sucks because that's woke.
The gods.
Nope, hold up. Now that's a gay man if I've ever seen one, and I can openly tell. So that's woke. This is not looking good, guys. I'm just gonna stop it right there, and let's see if we can find anything woke in this crowd. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that guy. Hard to tell. I might have to watch this on a bigger screen. Well, I'm not happy about how woke that movie trailer was. And I'm not alone either. The face that launched 1,000 what the facts? The face that sunk 1,000 ships. 12 seconds. I'm vomiting. In Greece, we are gathering funds to take this to the court. This movie is an abomination and insult to Greek culture and history. See you in court, Mr. Nolan. Helen of Destroy. Helen of Wakanda. This is why nobody will remember your movie name. The face that emptied 1,000 seats. So loser keeps Helen. Look at me. I'm Helen of Troy now. Why everyone hates this movie so much? You know what? I'm getting kind of sick of seeing like the exact same comments over and over again. Not just as an etiquette teacher, but as an anti-woke warrior as well. Because like, I don't want my side looking this dumb and predictable and boring. Because then the media will stop covering us, and then I'll lose all my subscribers. Which sucks because this is like the only thing I know how to do. It's either this or I'm working for my dad's construction company. So tell you what, in the future, maybe try something a little more like this. More like Odysseus sissy hypnosis. No way am I taking my son to this one. Next thing you know, he'll want to dress up like Helen of Troy for Halloween, which if we went off this movie would be horribly problematic to achieve accurately. By the way, don't listen to the comments in here saying Lupita Nyong'o isn't beautiful. That's just a bunch of Greek dudes trying to fuck each other. Spoken and post. Yeah, see, that wasn't woke.
Not quite my tempo.
Okay, it just happened again. What is going on? Anyway, let's dive into just how woke Christopher Nolan is.
Pause a second.
With a little bit of help from my friends. They are.
So that's a great bit because so many of these like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker types put in little sound drops like that all the fucking time.
Yes. And Drinker especially uses the same 4 basically over and over again. It's pretty absurd. But yeah, that's yes, that's one of the more high level ideas that he's conveying in this. I think that's you have to be somewhat familiar with their content in some unfortunate way to be like, I get that.
Odyssey Backlash is a disaster. Will it flop? By Nerdrotic. Oh, this guy's great. Yeah, he's always first to cover this stuff. I very much look up to him. And play.
Part of what we do here in this silly, inexplicable, yet wonderful gig, and that's thanks to you, is pattern recognition.
That's right, because pattern recognition is flawless. No false positives.
For example, it was pretty easy to figure out that the Rings of Power would be a subversive adaptation of
Harrison, I've got very good news for you. And if you know the deeper filmography of Mr. Simmons, then you know there's some pretty good choices coming up here.
Tolkien's work, if you even want to call it that.
Yup, we were right about that one. Rings of Power. That show wound up sucking, and it was because some of the elves were woke.
Or Snow White, which was a subversive adaptation of the film that made Disney.
Oh, I covered that one myself, and yeah, I was right. That movie wasn't that good.
Or the most recent example, Supergirl, which
I haven't seen Supergirl yet, so I'm gonna skip past that. I'd like to go in fresh so that I can do a video about how much I hated it.
As everyone knows now, Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen of Troy and her twin sister, who isn't a twin sister in the poem, Clytemnestra. Now, I can see Lupita Nyong'o being the face that launched 1,000 ships because it didn't match her Greek Tinder profile.
Oh, we're mad because she's not Greek? Oh. All right, my bad. I thought we were mad in a different way. So it's because she's not Greek. Okay.
But thank God we have the completely unbiased access media here to explain everything to all the plebs, like the Huffington Post, every major controversy surrounding Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Okay, yeah. You see that? That's great for us. The more headlines that we create, the more people will get funneled into our anti-woke content. We're the ones coming out on top here.
Will The Odyssey flop? And the honest answer is,
I don't know. Oh, where'd he go?
I'll just stick with my original assessment and say I would be absolutely shocked if it did.
Oh, yeah. No, he's right. He's going to make a ton of money.
From my perspective, the only thing keeping Hollywood alive are my viewings of reaction videos about Hollywood on YouTube. It is otherwise dead.
Lupita Nyong'o, Rachel Zegler, Zendaya, Millie Alcock, why?
That's an incredibly dumb perspective. I just want to point out.
Yeah. Wow. Talk about main character syndrome. Holy
Right.
shit.
Yeah, just for anybody that's not clear about this, by the way, it is Nerdrotic.
Nerdrotic. Yes.
Nerdrotic.
As Hollywood shifted from casting genuinely beautiful women to pushing 3s and 4s at us and then calling the audience toxic when their films flop.
I found another gay dude.
Don't you wish we had a Harvey Weinstein in charge
No,
now?
not at all.
I'm starting to think this is actually gonna bomb, and I hope it does. Will it flop? That's like asking, will water be wet?
Already flopped, and it's great. It's not a question that if it will flop, but how hard will flop.
I wanted to see a movie with my family on the 4th, but our options were Supergirl or The Odyssey. We stayed home and played games, popped our own popcorn, and had a great...
There's some, I don't know if they're bots. Probably some of them aren't, but there's some contingent of commenters like this that they're trying to create a narrative, but not having even any basic facts in hand.
Yeah.
So they're like,
The Odyssey was not out on July 4th.
Right.
Neither was Supergirl, I don't think.
On the 4th, I think it was. Yeah.
Oh, right. It came out in June. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so fucking clearly like, oh, you're good job, buddy. You're 6 people liked that too. So I guess 6 idiots saw that and were like, huh, yeah, that's a problem. We couldn't see a movie on July 4th.
Time. No, you didn't. The movie's not out yet.
The Odyssey will flop, and they will blame us for its failure.
I've never heard of Christopher Nolan, and I'm proud of it. I'm 53. I stopped watching movies a long, long time ago.
Hey, Bob, I'm going to let this play for a minute. I'm going to go say hi to Jen real quick, and I'll be right back.
All right.
All right, well, that's a valuable viewer to have as the anti-woke movie guy. Here's my comment. Yo, what up? I work for the movie companies that make this woke shit, and I just want to say thank you for helping us promote our films. We didn't think it was necessary to make things woke at all until we saw just how much attention we got from all of you weird losers. You're bringing big volunteer firefighter energy to this conversation, man. You look like you had a holster for your cell phone in the early 2000s. We're like Nerdrotic. Look, we know you guys care very passionately about these franchises, and it brings us nothing but joy to fill them with what you would call woke, but if you were to actually call it what you want to, it would be a hate crime. Now, mostly as an industry, we are still very racist, more racist than you, which is saying a lot. But I'll tell you what, pissing you guys off guarantees a movie to sometimes double its box office because of all of the anti-woke YouTubers who have to go see it opening night. We're throwing in all kinds of woke shit now just to get your butts in the seats. Check it out. We're going to remake To Kill a Mockingbird, but with an all-Latino cast, except for Tom Robinson, who's going to be played by Zendaya. You guys are going to lose your fucking minds over that, and we're going to be laughing all the way to the bank. We're also going to rig the Oscars so it wins Best Picture, and then when you all whine like a bunch of spoiled whores, we're going to turn your tears into money to buy baby blood that keeps us from aging. In conclusion, please keep it up. I wish you all the success in the world. Subbed. That doesn't mean I subscribe, by the way. It means you're the sub in this relationship. And there we go. That's what I would sound like if I was woke. And post. Okay, well, did I hear Elon Musk had something to say about this? Chris Nolan desecrated the Odyssey so that he would be eligible for an Academy Award. Oh, I guess so.
Nolan hasn't even released the movie, and somehow it already has trailers, reviews, boycotts, culture war, Oscar debates, and free marketing from Elon. Hollywood wishes it could buy this kind of promo.
Exactly. Hey, Grok.
I see, yeah, what do you want?
Send this guy a picture of Chester Cheetah with huge tits.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm making that. Here you go, Abbagiano.
Nice, dude. Yeah, see, I knew you wouldn't be woke about it. You didn't even censor the nipples. That's fucking crazy. How are you allowed to generate that?
Prego, you say it, I fucking do it like a presto. Look, I made another pizza pie.
All right, well, I didn't tell you to send another one, though.
Hey, what's that? You want another one?
No?
Okay, hey, here you go.
Okay, stop. You're sending these from my account, dude.
See, prego.
Dude, Grok, all I gotta say is
Planetarium tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. There's the door.
ah,
What the fuck was that?
you felt that too?
I felt like I had disappeared.
Y'all, I can't pause the video or I will be
Man,
pausing.
maybe we should just cut to today's sponsor while we get our bearings.
Okay.
All right. Today's video is brought to you by Privacy. Oh, hey there. Oh,
Although he does do probably the best ad reads in the business. Like he puts a lot into his ads. He does usually does like a sketch with other people and stuff like that. We'll probably just go ahead and skip over it.
That was an epic comment he left on the Nerdrotic video. I wonder if it's real. I wonder if we could go to that video and find an actual comment.
I'll let you know. I'll bring it up if so. Okay, here we go.
All right, guys, welcome back. And yeah, we are covering the woke travesty that is Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. And some news just came across my desk. Apparently, one of the actors in this movie is trans. I bet it's this one. I mean, I don't know. With those lips don't lie, people. And look at those eyes. I could get lost in those eyes, and that only ever happens with women. Oh, wait, it's this guy.
Transgender actor Elliot Page has been hilariously mocked whilst out promoting his role as a Greek warrior in The Odyssey.
Yo, hang on. Is this news program on my side?
And this commentator doubled down, hilariously saying, "I taught Homer, withstood 2,800 years. This film won't withstand 2,800 days."
I mean, that's 10 years, but I see his point, and I agree. Homer didn't spend time on the women because the story isn't about them.
I hope that this movie makes $0. What the hell is even happening?
Please, God, enlighten all the lost souls. This is...
So I don't know. I guess we can go through it together. But so far, I have not seen it.
Okay. I suspected they were fake anyway, but
Well, I don't want to have that ruined for me. I would really love to see that it's not fake, you know? Or maybe he really left it in Nerdrotic or whoever, got rid of it.
maybe
I forget. What did he say in it? I forget.
it was a lot. It was like an essay. But he pretended to be, the comment was he was pretending to be like a studio executive or something,
Right.
thanking them for all the negative press
That's right.
because it drives eyeballs to their content.
I would be willing to bet that if he did really leave that comment, that they got rid of it, because that's a little bit too nakedly open about their grift kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a movie, it's a mockery. I wish a rival would fund a real version of Odyssey. Elliot Page is playing Sinon, not Achilles.
Is he a hobbit?
Wow, I agree with everything I just saw. But because they're Australian, I gotta be disrespectful. That's just good comment etiquette. Check it out. Hey, what's up? I'm a normal guy, and I'm still just gonna go see the movie. I think it looks cool. Christopher Nolan makes great theater experiences, and it's shot on IMAX, so I'm definitely gonna get high beforehand and go with all my friends. Oh, sorry, friends are people that you meet in your life who then invite you to things and want to hang out with you. Anyway, I guess feel free to continue this conversation among yourselves when you all bump into each other opening night in bumfuck Australia, which is all of it. I'm surprised they're even releasing this movie in your country, considering you people are all broke from constantly paying each other's bail money. And obviously, I wouldn't say any of this shit in front of you because I'd probably get glassed by a stranger behind me who didn't hear me and was trying to glass somebody else. Yo, real quick, if you're still reading this, I want you to imagine Chester Cheetah with big fat tits in a bikini. Picture it. Chester Cheetah waving hello, but he's got big old naked boobies. What would that look like? You thought about it. I know you did, because some of you already know what it looks like. Consider that spoken and post. All right, now real quick, as you know, on this funny little show we do, I don't like anything that isn't white, straight, or a man. But when it comes to the Odyssey, I think it's important we respect the source material and see how the Greeks feel about this. Greek people respond to the Odyssey movie and they are livid. Where are the Greeks? I don't know. Have you checked the bathhouses and play?
People like to believe that the term indigenous only applies to a select few, but that's not so. It also applies to the Greek people as well. You wouldn't cast an Italian.
I want to see how long it takes you to spot it with this one, Bob. Call it out whenever you spot it.
Italian to play the part of George Washington in a movie.
Not a great example. I would be fine with that.
The Odyssey cast, Matt Damon, American, English, Finnish, and Scottish ancestry. Tom Holland, English. They forgot to add that he's also of Irish ancestry. Anne Hathaway, American, Irish, French, and English ancestry.
You know, most of the people in my camp aren't really mad about those choices, so this is like an interesting new angle.
Zendaya, African American. She's not African American. She's a mulata.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa, what?
The fuck? No, dude. We say woke.
John Bernthal, American, small cap ancestry.
Yo, what did that guy just call John Bernthal?
Wow.
He's awesome. He reminds me of my cop brother-in-law.
Benny Safdie, American, Syrian, small cap ancestry.
We got ourselves a Nazi.
Yes, we do.
Nazi alarm. What? Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that some Nazis apparently do that. But it completely, quote unquote, makes all the sense in the world that they would do that because of how Nazis' brains are, which are rotten, confused, frightened, shriveled up, dehydrated, inbred, and stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm starting to think that this guy might be just a little bit more than anti-woke. He might be something else that we don't really want because it makes us look bad, even though we agree.
Okay, I cannot express how happy I am to see Greece stand.
Anti-woke. He might be something else that we don't really want because it makes us look bad, even though we agree.
Okay, I cannot express how happy I am to see Greece stand up for herself. It's been a long time coming, and the Greek people deserve their props. Christopher Nolan is doing them real dirty with this movie, and he deserves all the backlash. So everybody go give your Greek friends a hug and show them some love.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to read any of the comments down here because just off a cursory glance, I'd have to blur out too much stuff. But this is like not good for the anti-woke community. We can't accept people like this. They're just going to make us look bad. So let me scare him off with some good comment etiquette. You know, if they used real Greeks for this, they wouldn't get a second of usable footage after all the men start having sex with each other. Plus, this was filmed on IMAX, so it would just be the most expensive gay porn ever made. I mean, listen, you idiot. Imagine seeing this in 4DX and having to smell that. Go fuck. Yeah, I'm talking to you, guy who uploaded this. This is why you only have 127 subscribers, because you don't know how to keep it in your fucking pants when it comes to dog whistles. The rest of us anti-woke Argonauts know what words to use, and you don't. You're exactly what an Antifa account would say to get us all in trouble, fucking fake fan. And just one more time, fuck Greece. I got my wallet stolen there by an orphan, of which there are many because their parents keep abandoning them to move to New Hampshire. And get out of here. All right, guys. Well, hopefully I said enough crazy shit in this video to get a couple headlines out of it because my trad wife is pregnant with her 5th child, and this is our only source of income. And don't forget to ring that bell. Only 8% of you watching are subscribed, and that makes me feel like...
Get undressed. We're taking a shower.
Yep.
I already took a shower.
Oh, that's okay. When I'm done with you, you'll need another one.
What the fuck is happening to me? Eric, did you hear about Mitch McConnell? Oh no, what happened?
I'm checking out this Patreon DM and it's not looking good for him.
What? Nah, dude, I'm sure he's fine. Don't be fucking woke. All right, good night.
Big money, Salvia City. We're in big money, Salvia City. Big money, Salvia City.
Yep. Good stuff. He did it. He defeated Nerdrotic, I think.
I mean, look, all of this started with you guys at the initiative. In your little corner of the internet, nobody else was coming at these guys.
Yeah.
And your tentacles have reached across the bandwidth and ensnared the Birdman and internet comment etiquette.
I don't think that's exactly how it happened. I doubt that Eric here knows of us at all. I think that on a long enough timeline, there's just some people that were going to find their way to criticize. Like most people, the common quote unquote wisdom that we would hear a lot whenever we first started making content, I think, is, you know, like me and Turf and Bob and stuff, is like, just leave them alone. They're gonna go away. You know what I mean? People just thought that you just let them be over there in the corner, say the crazy shit they're saying. They'll die down eventually. Nobody cares. That's not really what happened. That is what is starting to happen now, but not because we just left them alone. You know what I mean? But yeah, what they did instead, whenever you leave them alone, is they just build their audience and they have nobody challenging their narratives. But yeah, I think that just on a long enough timeline, somebody like Eric or Birdman, would end up doing that. I don't think necessarily that our tentacles or greasy, lubed up tentacles grabbed a hold of him or anything. In fact, I remember
you give yourself.
Birdman, well, I think it's happened, sure, but I think Birdman in particular, I remember whenever he made his first video on this stuff, and Bob, brought it back. Other Bob brought it to us and was like, "Hey, Birdman's out here saying that, like check out what he says in the end of his video or whatever." He says, because nobody else can do it, so I've got to do it or whatever. And we're like, "Wait, hold up, nobody else." And that's when we actually reached out to him on Twitter first publicly. We were like, "Hey, man, all for bravado, all for swinging your dick around. You got to do that with these guys. But fact is, we've been out here on these streets. You know what I mean?" And he's gone on to give us our flowers since then. But
I think you should give yourself 12% credit.
Yeah,
12%. Yeah,
it's 12. Like in the Avengers.
Like Harrison James says here, y'all were the first domino, and we can't know. It's a counterfactual. We can't know if you had never done it, whether Birdman or Internet Comment Etiquette would have done it or wouldn't have. We can't know that. But the reality is you guys were here first, and that had some effect on the discourse. How much we can't measure. So 12% seems fair.
Yeah, I think that's true. I agree. I mean, matter of fact, I do, now that I think about it, I have a comment screenshot somewhere from Birdman where he literally gave us props for this. To find it, but essentially, it was in response to other Bob DMing him about something about it, and he offered his recognition and appreciation for that. So maybe he wasn't aware of us at first, and that's okay. But then I think he obviously we pulled him onto the showcast, and we're like, "Hey, man," we all made sure to let him know we've been doing this, man. We've been doing this shit. And he
was magnanimous about it, right? So that shows you what a stand-up guy he is. That's why I like his content so much.
He's a good dude. I don't think that he would be a dickhead to pretty much anyone that didn't deserve it. As far as
yeah, but there are a lot.
He's going to be a dickhead.
Yeah, there are a lot of content creators out there who, if they had done what he did, thinking they were alone, and then you reached out to them and said, "Hey, we've been doing this for years," would have either ignored you or said you were lying or like clout chasing or something like that. But no, Birdman was like, "Okay, you guys are the OGs. I'm going to boost you." And that's really cool of him. He did not have to do that.
Well, the way it all played out, originally, is kind of fun because basically me and Turf and other Bob were all aware of each other. So then as soon as we started, first, I think me and Bob did a stream together. And then right at the end of it, we were like, we got to get what's that other guy with Turf Nation? We got to get him on here. And then, of course, we reached out to him and he was like, "Yeah, man, okay, guys." And it was all a bunch of mutually masturbatory stuff. It was all wet and stuff. It's kind of crazy.
Very Greek of you.
Yeah, we met at the bathhouses.
You might say it was a bit of an odyssey for you.
It was odd. It was odd to see, for sure.
But it wasn't an odyssey.
If you would have seen it, it would have been very odd to see indeed. Trying to find that.
I gotta hand it to that commenter that he highlighted who said odyssey. That's one I'm surprised that Nerdrotic himself did not.
Exactly. Why didn't Nerdrotic? Sorry, he's slipping. He's slipping. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Only explanation there is he is slipping.
But I'm super excited. I'm going to go see the movie tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the Odyssey is one of my favorite foundational stories to civilization. You know how there's a collection of stories in each of the great civilizations that's considered foundational to that civilization. We have a lot. The Iliad, the Odyssey, many of the stories of the Bible, the stories of Gilgamesh, etc. So
Beowulf.
Beowulf, yeah. So I'm super excited to go see this movie, and I don't care what race any of the people on the screen are. I never did. They're all part of Western civilization.
You know, it's I remember we talked about it last night. If you're not equally upset and mentioning Matt Damon, then you're just a racist. You know, if you're not talking about Tom Holland and Anne Hathaway, then you're just a racist. It's just very simple logic that you need to deduce that. It's right there. You know, if you're focused on Lupita Nyong'o and you're saying her name wrong, and you're focused on Elliot Page and you're misgendering him and stuff like that, then you're just a bigot. And it would be one thing if these guys could just have the courage, I guess you'd say, of their convictions. You know what I mean? Like if they, maybe they really don't believe this stuff. Maybe they don't care. You know,
It doesn't matter. The effect is the same. You know,
right? Of course, but I'm just
sure
saying,
you know.
like, maybe I'm just kind of theorizing. Maybe that's why they won't just come out and say, "Yes, I'm a racist. I'm a transfer," because they don't actually give a shit. They're just grifting, and that's the
or they don't think they are. They're like those people who don't understand what racism is, so they think they're not one, but they do it all the time.
Well, you know, I have said, I think I got this from somewhere, but like something like 90% of racism is just that you see out in the open is not really direct racism. It's people obfuscating and making excuses for and normalizing racism.
Yeah.
You know, there's direct racism, and then there's the rest of it. The vast majority of it is the stuff that like these guys do, where they just are giving their audience ways to, you know, avoid cognitive dissonance or avoid actually thinking of themselves as bad people while still, you know, spewing the racism.
Yeah. And more fundamentally than all of that, if your argument conflates culture and race, which all of these guys' arguments do, you are a racist.
This is what their content is, man. This is right there.
But I do want to answer this question that, yes, Harrison, I have listened to the audiobook version that this is based off of, and it's excellent. I highly recommend it. It's the Emily Wilson translation, narrated by Claire Danes, and it's great. And I've always said that stories like the Odyssey, the Iliad, the Epic of Gilgamesh, Beowulf are ideally consumed as audiobooks because they were oral traditions. So that's how they were meant to be consumed. Oral. But yeah, I'm re-listening to it right now, just, you know, have it fresh in my mind. But it's really interesting to have the story read by an American woman, because but every other audiobook version I've ever heard of the Odyssey is narrated by a British dude. And no shade on British dudes, because they've had some good ones.
Oh no, lots of shade on British dudes. So I don't. He's not speaking for me when he says that. Guys like Ryan, Pillar of Garbage. You guys know what you did. You know what you
did. But yeah, it's a great translation too, because what Emily Wilson did was go back to the original Greek and translate it directly into modern vernacular English, whereas almost all other translations have romanticized the language and tried to elevate the prose in the story to make it sound more Shakespearean or more Elizabethan or whatever. And one of the things that previous translators did was try to whitewash or sugarcoat some of the original Greek words like slave or rape, when those were the actual Greek words. So she just includes the actual direct translations. And she also consulted the journals and interviewed like veterans of war to get kind of a feel for the rhythm of how they talk to each other. And she incorporated that into the dialogue, the construction of the dialogue between the soldiers in the story.
Which is why Tom Holland says dad instead of father, right?
Yes, because that's how they would have sounded to each other, right? That's why I never object to people using
father is very kind of high society speak, right?
Yeah.
Like if you think about who would say that, you know, would any of your friends that you know that you grew up with call their dad father, unless they were rich people? Probably not.
Yeah. And that's why I never object or rarely object to adaptations using colloquial English or colloquial whatever language of the nation that made it. Is because that's how those characters would have sounded to each other. They didn't walk around speaking Elizabethan English or really highfalutin stuff. They talk like we do. They talk to each other casually, you know? So Telemachus would refer to Odysseus as dad and not father. That makes total sense.
Just showing some classic memes here, man. I got a folder of just like my favorite memes ever, and just kind of going through those. This is a classic right here. I love it. Come on now.
I think you should have gone for the more Norse spelling and called her Grey Dolter.
I didn't make this. I wish I had.
Okay. Yeah. Well, whoever made this meme, if you're out there,
they
look up the Norwegian.
Well, I know it's like
that phrase.
DOGHITER or something like that.
It's in English. It's DOTTIR, Dolter. So it's Grayson and Grey Dolter. So there's actual athletes. I think there's a female strength athlete whose last name is something Daughter, and that's how she spells it. She's from Iceland. But anyway, I think it would have been funnier if somebody had done it grammatically correct that way.
I forgot about this one. Holy shit. This is a dumb one, but it's fun. Elon sucked.
Did you know that Elon Musk is an anagram for Leon Scum?
No, it's great. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Oh, God,
and you barely have to move any of the letters around.
You want to see some AF originals? I got some AF originals here.
Let's F that taco, Daddy.
Let's fuck that taco. All right.
Yeah.
This was before I really covered him a lot and knew much about him. I just knew that he had made a video or a couple of videos with PragerU. And so I was like, well, you know, why not? So the video version of that is better, I think. This is one of my favorites right here. This one, whew, good stuff.
This is a good one. I've seen a different version of this where he pulls the mask off and the sign switches to a snake with a boot on its neck and says "Tread on me, Daddy."
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry that you have such low energy, man. We should, I don't know, maybe you got low T, bro. Do something about it. Drink an energy drink. Do some drugs. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a lull in the conversation, bro. You know, it happens.
It's the end of a stream. Oh, was he talking about us? I didn't know he was talking about us.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe if he has higher energy, he'll let us know.
Oh yeah, God, these are some classics right here.
Oh man. Such an embarrassing moment. And like the Godzilla was right there.
Well, but it didn't count because he said recent. He said newer. That's the thing. He built his trap and then stepped right in it.
Yeah, that's true. And then none of the films he named were Japanese, right? Which is what the meme you just showed was about. He makes the bold claim that people in the West are getting more invested in recent Korean or Japanese cinema because it's not as woke as American cinema. And then his interviewer goes, "What are some recent Japanese films that you are thinking of?" And then he couldn't do it.
Just couldn't.
And that guy wasn't even a hostile interviewer either. Apparently that was a fan of him.
Yeah, that's what's crazy is that guy, you know, I've never seen him again anywhere or anything. Nothing against him necessarily, except for if he's a fan of Drinker, I guess, yeah, something against him. But yeah, weird shit. What
I
else we-
included that clip in my video about how Hong Kong action cinema disproves the critical drinker's claims about girl bosses in modern Hollywood.
Yep, and it's good video. Good stuff. That is an angle that has not been. I don't think you might be the only one that's covered that specific.
I made that video originally to support another content creator who ultimately didn't follow through on their project, but I took inspiration from them. His name is Critically Sober, who's also Scottish. And he was planning to do a whole series. And I started talking to him through DMs in Discord, and he was making great progress, and I was encouraging him the whole time. And then we started talking about collaborating. So if you on that video, if you read the notes, it links to his channel. And then I kind of lost touch with him. I don't know if he ever made that series or not, but he had some great zingers. He's much funnier than I am, and it would have been great if he had followed through on it.
Yeah, I remember seeing. I think I saw something by him, like a short video, maybe.
Yeah. What he was planning to do the last time I talked to him was he was going to do the series was going to be start with one of Michelle Yeoh's early movies called Royal Warriors, and then he was going to work his way up through several different individual movies and demonstrate how the female protagonist in those movies checks every single box of the girl boss criteria that the critical drinker laid out and other people laid out. And this was happening in the 1980s, when Drinker says that's the golden age of action movies and shit. I'll have to look Critical Sober up. I don't know whatever happened to him. But the point is a good one because it disproves the entire foundational narrative of the critical drinker's analysis. He says that the girl boss template is the product of modern 21st century intersectional feminist activists who've infiltrated Hollywood and are trying to destroy masculinity or whatever. And yet, if you go back to the 1980s, the golden age of action films, according to him, you will find an entire film industry making movies with that exact character in it. No training arc, no backstory, no character arc, no mentor, no suffering. All the men in the movie are stupid or gay or aliens or otherwise not reproductively viable, and the women don't dress in sexy outfits. Like every single criteria.
That all sounds
beat up entire rooms full of men. They beat up men bigger than them. Everything
sounds pretty woke. All that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's well, I don't think it's any good. I think it's probably pretty bad. No, just kidding. Yeah, it's there's essentially everything that they say, and I'm maybe being hyperbolic. I maybe could, if I really thought about it, think of some things that they don't just completely have opposite takes on in other situations or in other sentences that they say. But yeah, it's all just nonsense that doesn't mean anything. It's just things they're making up, whether intentionally or not. I don't know. It's fucking bizarre. The degree with which they say something, some kind of thing about how movies are supposed to be good and not woke, and then for every claim about women and girl bosses, you have your Ripleys and your Sarah Connors and Terminator 2s, and of course they have their ways that I'm sure that they would kind of try to wiggle out of that being
they don't see. I've steelmanned their argument for them in the one that I made, right? The reason Ripley and Sarah Connor don't count, if you assume, and this is a big assumption, that the girl boss argument they make is in good faith. The reason those two characters don't count is, number one, because those are sequels, at least with Sarah Connor, and number two, they're both motivated by maternal instincts, which is inherently feminine, and number three, they both do go through something of a character arc or are romantically involved with a man. In the case of Ripley, So that's why those two don't count. If you steel man their argument and think that they're operating in good faith, which are both big assumptions. But yeah. But it is also true that if those two characters came out today, exactly as they are constructed in Terminator 2 or Aliens, these guys would call them girl bosses and hate them and put them in thumbnails for years to come with big googly eyes or muscle mommy bodies.
Absolutely. What else do we do? Did I have anything else? I think oh yeah, there was one thing I wanted to just kind of hear this guy talk about real quick. Because here's the thing. Do I still have the goddamn? Yep, here we go.
We got one!
Welcome to the show. Hope you guys are having a great day out there. I got some breaking news for you, bro. And let me tell you, this is gross. I mean, this is nasty stuff. You probably already know what it is if you're reading the title, but oh my days. So I have that. I got a lot more on top of that for you. Also, later on, Trump is demanding trillions of dollars for war as Americans are starving. He also keeps admitting to crimes on live TV, seemingly unaware that he's doing that. And then we also have Glenn Beck crying for Israel in what appears to be some sort of disturbing humiliation ritual. So really bizarre stuff. You guys know the drill, man. Subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon. You can also support the show on Patreon and sign up for Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. No Crystal Kyle and Friends this week. We'll be back next week. Sign up for or sub for Corn's World as well on YouTube. We'll be back for that in 2 weeks because obviously I'm on vacation this week. Corn's on vacation next week. But we'll be back at it shortly. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. So let me start with this, man. And this is kind of crazy because nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about this. But ICE is reportedly ramping up arrests back up under Trump, with the White House pushing for two.
I thought it was closer to the beginning.
Yeah, Kyle's car videos typically have like a shit ton of stuff in them because he makes them on his day off. So he just pours everything into one video.
Well, he does that every day basically, but then he does that in the mornings and then he then because like one video per day will have the welcome to the show guys thing at the beginning and the rest of them don't.
Yeah. But he breaks them up into segments. Then the segments are in individual videos. But then on like Friday, he just does one long video from his car or his backyard or his bed or something.
Okay, but that's what's happening. All right, how about this one, bro? Oh, my days. The GOP's account says, Republican Councilman Riley Carter famously wore a Make Pedophiles Afraid Again hat. He has now been sentenced to 46 years in prison for graping a little girl. What the fuck? He wore a Make Pedophiles Afraid Again hat. Well, you know what? That actually happened because he's the pedophile and now he's in prison and he's going to be there for a long fucking time. These people are sick. These people are sick. By the way, pedocon theory is a theory like gravity is a theory at this point. I mean, how many examples have to be before people realize, like, I don't know, it seems like there's an issue here on the right. How many times did they call trans people groomers and did this moral panic over the stuff? And then they end up being the ones guilty every single time. All right, more. Republican Party Chairman Matthew Riley, I believe of Rhode Island, was found passed out in his car with a crack pipe in his hand. Police recovered crack cocaine. He has now resigned. Looking good there, fella. Look at this. Looking good there, fella. Definitely not looking like a crackhead who's falling apart at the seams. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Republican Party. This is the Republican Party right here. All right, how about this one? Prepare yourself. An Indiana Republican attempted to grape his own daughter on her birthday.
Oh, my God.
He was just sentenced to 6 years in prison. The depravity, the evil is just so off the charts. I didn't even know this was a thing, like that this ever happened in human history. You read something like this and you go, really? There's somebody that gross out there that would try such a thing? There's somebody that's such a degenerate criminal that they would try such a thing? And the answer is yes. That's exactly what this is. Tried to grape his own daughter. Weird, man. Weird. It's always these Republicans. We get like, and by the way, This isn't like a special day or anything. This is like every other day we get stories exactly like this all across this country. All across this country. And if you follow the GOPL's account, you'll see them as soon as they hit, bro. And by the way, everything that this account posts is sourced. Everything. So look at this. Source right underneath The Guardian. Republican who won county seat pleads guilty to sexual assault of daughter. What are we doing? What the fuck is this? And these are the people who are lecturing Democrats about morality. Oh my days. I cannot explain the extent to which you need to shut the fuck up and never talk about anything ever again if you're on the right. I cannot explain. All right. Now, meanwhile, how about this? Connecticut Governor Lamont signs universal free school breakfast into law. Isn't that great? So this is what you get in blue state after blue state. You get free school breakfast and free school lunch for kids. Okay, that's what you get. This is the sort of stuff that they're focused on. Meanwhile, Republicans have on their agenda banning blue states from doing free school lunch and free school breakfast for kids. I'm not kidding. Or doing things like the Death Star law in Texas, where they try to ban cities from doing a higher minimum wage or having heat breaks, mandatory heat breaks for 100-degree heat. This is what Republicans are doing. They are actively making life worse, whereas Democrats at the state level are actively making life better, bro. That's what's happening. All right, how about this? CBS News also warning about unfolding crisis at National Weather Service. Experts warn about botched forecasts due to combination of missing data and poorly trained staff. And there's a whole article here that lays it out. National Weather Service faces hurricane season with less experienced staff and missing data. So
Republicans, conservatism is kind of a bad thing. I think I'm starting to think that maybe it's not the way to go. You know?
Yeah, the National Weather Service thing, like that's gonna fuck up our agriculture.
Yeah,
because one of the things that farmers do is check the almanac against current projections and predictions for weather over the next like weeks or so. And they try so they can adjust what they're doing and track changes in the climate and stuff like that. And this just fucks all of that up. When it's going to screw up growing season and everything.
Yep, it's a whole ass thing. It's a whole it's just like all this grifting kind of thing, you know. It's just grifting, and then and also I think malice. Just like punishing people that they don't like, which is basically anybody that's not immediately financially beneficial to them.
Yeah, it really feels like they're trying to take us back to the 1890s.
It feels like there is some kind of willful attempt to dismantle all of the progresses of the 20th century, neoliberalism and liberal.
Mm-hmm.
Progress. It essentially seems like that is what they're aiming at directly.
It's almost like the construction of the middle class was a distraction used as an excuse. The excuse was fighting communism.
What?
So we constructed the American middle class to fight communism. That was the excuse. That's why it arose during the Cold War. And communism's gone now. The Soviet Union's gone. So they're just going to take all that away from us. Like the New Deal and Social Security, or that was a New Deal, but Medicare and all of that partly was put forward and sold to the business community as being a shield against a socialist revolution in the United States. And the big boogeyman they used to sell that was, well, look, the Soviet Union's right over here subverting everything. And it's almost like when the Soviet Union went away, they immediately began dismantling the welfare state, because they didn't need it anymore.
But you said that socialism and communism is like, that's not a threat or anything, but like I've heard that those mentioned a lot lately as being threats. Did you see Mike Johnson? He's fucking having fits about it in every speech, every time he gets in front of a microphone.
Yeah, and they're talking to boomers, like young people, in my experience anyway, even conservative young people that I've met, like you say communism or socialism to them and they're like, okay, whatever. It doesn't frighten them at all. But old people who are still, unfortunately, a majority of the voters are terrified of it, apparently, or at least that's what they're hoping.
Huh. That's wild, man. I just wouldn't, I don't know. I kind of think maybe there's something to it. Why would they say it?
Well, Conditions are right.
I'm going to play this because I played part 1 of this the other day. I didn't play part 2 of the clip. It's a scene from I'm a Virgo, the show. It's a show on Amazon Prime. And this second part here continues in the discussion of capitalism as the first part did.
In the 1920s, when liquor was illegal, go. Go! Motherfucker, go! If you rob the liquor dude, gangsters come after you. Motherfucker! Now that liquor is legal, if you rob the liquor dude, police come after you. In the 1990s, when weed was illegal, take up the back. Hey! Get the fuck on the fucking ground, bitch! I'm not fucking with you! But if you rob the weed dude, gangsters come after you. Hey everyone! Now that weed is legal, hey everybody! Pretty please, can you just get the fuck on the ground? Thank you so much. Not you, get up. If you rob the weed dude, police come after you. So, capitalism necessitates unemployment and poverty, which necessitates illegal business. The regulation of which is what causes violence. How do you tell the whole working class that poverty and violence are necessitated by capitalism without them deciding to get rid of capitalism? You don't. You tell them poverty is due to bad choices of those impoverished. But how do you tell the whole working class that their economic situation is due to their poor choices? You don't. You tell them that it's the other that's making bad choices. That it's the culture of the other that causes this. You do this via the news, sitcoms, cop shows, and superhero shows. Even when they're smart enough to hide their point. This causes part of the working class, even the so-called others, to identify with the ruling class. A group of us are trying to change this whole thing. If you wanted to stop so-called crime and the violence that grows from it, you'd be a revolutionary. But you're not. You're a tool that helps capitalism run smoothly. A system that creates poverty and the crime and violence necessitated by it. Man, lock yourself up.
Because it's just notable to me that in a certain span of time, around like before he hit 1 million subscribers as well, when he was kind of buddying up with Benny Johnson.
U.S. prosecutors allege a media company linked to conservative influencers who regularly reach millions, including Benny Johnson, was secretly funded by Russian state media employees.
And a little busy this week in the old news section of the internet. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
I appreciate everything you've done for us.
We got Nerdrotic. Gary up on the channel. But I got to bring on the great Alex Jones.
Yes!
Alex Jones!
It is awesome to be here.
He grooms his beard better.
Yeah.
He grooms his Star Wars theory really well.
Yeah. Jesus.